They can't do one nothing. Yo. Liberia is our home. CDC is our terrain. Yo. Get you power. We can get you our barrier. Yo. Like you can bring all the yellow machine to the country. We're not moving from here. Yo. Y'all open the cells and make it big to the rest of the yo. They must see out in the Amanda. Revolutionaries. Jealous editions. Now this time we have no fear to call you battle-tested revolutionaries. What you have demonstrated today has been recorded on the pages of history. And it is that level of enthusiasm. It is that level of courage. It is that level of resilience that what documents your portfolio as a baptized revolutionary of the Indomitable Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change. Because not ordinary partisans were facing tear gas. Not ordinary partisans were facing pepper spray. But today, you went in defense of your institution. And you were tear gassed, and you were pepper sprayed, and you willingly embrace tear gas. Not because you are cowards. In the midst of intimidation, you have remained firm to ensure that the chairperson of our institution remains untouchable. So all of you,
we will never run away from CDC.
Liberia. And so before we move forward, we want to stand on this existing protocol to salute all of our partisans, to give you our two hands from Africanist revolutionary salutations, ranging from the zoos, reaching from the cells to the black, the district, the very leadership of our institution present here. We want to salute you. And when they talk about people power, what you demonstrated today is a clear definition of people power. And like someone said, why it is true that the CDC remains very peaceful. At the same time, protestation is inviting us. Why it is true that the CDC remains peaceful. At the same time, the streets are inviting us. We say yeah, without any stupor, that the regime has unleashed her first bullet. And like what we will say, that bullet will be received and will respond to that bullet. But comrades, where we stand, we are in for the testimony to give you any message here. In the presence of the man who bears the insignia of our institution.
Amanda! Where to? Amanda!
And this is why this assembly was called. So that issues permeating the corridors can be dealt with decisively. So that as you leave from here, there will be no mongering. As you leave from here, any information that you share in the community will be authentic. And that means it's coming from the belly of the Developmental Coalition for Democratic Change. So! And while somebody post that, they say, you test one, you test what? Oh. You test one, you test what? Oh. So for us, we are students of revolutionary science. And we understand what it means. When the regime becomes ruthless, there is no ruthless regime that will ever call for dialogue. And we want to say to you, we understand there needs to be a lot of motion. To every action, there will be an equal opposite reaction. And we want to send a caveat to the Liberia National Police that the Nino was made in a specific size to carry on a simple function. Not that the iron industry is limited. So we say to you, comrades and friends, to put you in your element, the chairman will speak to you. And every word that he says here will be law and gospel and will be executed by militants and cadres of the Developmental Coalition for Democratic Change. So yeah, we fear nothing. We fear nothing. But we are aware that this is tactics. It's scare tactics. And we're not going to get involved or embracing scare tactics. So quickly, we will invite on the podium the operations of the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Developmental Coalition for Democratic Change. So, who's no other person but Fidel having ability, who will subsequently invite in the chairperson.
Viva, 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 Fidel Castro, viva! Viva! Viva, 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 Fidel Castro, viva! Viva! Munao, Fidel Castro, Munao! Munao, Fidel Castro, Munao! Luta!
Fidel Castro, Fidel Castro, Zayo, Manda, Fidel Castro, Zayo,
Reactionary tendency. Reactionary tendency. Reactionary tendency. Tyrant Bwaka. Tyrant Bwaka. Mafia Bwaka. Mafia Bwaka. Killer Gregory. Killer Gregory. Serial killer. Serial killer. Serial killer. Serial killer. Serial killer. Brutality. Brutality. Violence. 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 Zayo. Radical resistance. Zayo. Zayo. It's time for radical resistance. Zayo. Zayo. Any Bwaka's radical rudeness. Zayo. Zayo. Any Bwaka's radical rudeness. Zayo. Zayo. The mafia must fall. Says Zayo. Zayo. Any terror in Liberia. Says Zayo. Zayo. Any terror in Liberia. Says Zayo. Manda. Away. Two. Manda. Away. Two. Aïe. Bouye. Aïe. Bouye. Liberia. Liberia. Gena Congress. Gena. Gena Congress. Gena. Gena Congress. Gena. Bansi. Joseph Bwaka. Bansi. Bansi. Joseph Bwaka. Bansi. Bansi. Jeremiah Kum. Bansi. Bansi. Gregory Coleman. Bansi. Bansi. Bwaka. Bansi. Amanda. Long live, long live, long live. Mate Congress. Long live. Long live, long live, long live. Chairman Janga. Long live. Long live, long live, long live. SG Koji. Long live. Long live, long live, long live. Fidel Castro. Long live. Give the message. Fidel said give the message. Give the message. Chairman Kowo said give the message. It's time for radical resistance. Say radical resistance. It's time for radical resistance. Say radical resistance. Luta.
Commerce. Today, we are here to no longer be the victims of history, but to categorically be perpetrators of history. As we look beyond Matayadon, we see and we draw the inspiration of Muna Pena, Youngblood, Moros Koma, and Papi Solo at the nasty terrain of the Monrovia Central Prison. We draw inspiration from Comrade Speaker Jeff Funati Kofat, Dayton Sibo, and at the sacred ground of our revolutionary heritage. We reflect on the struggle on November 7, 2011. Those who paid the ultimate due before our existence, our time and dispensation here. Under the emblem of this party is to raise the flag that in our lifetime, in our generation, the CDC flag will now bow to the reckless, brutal dictatorship of tyrannical, octogenarian Mr. Joseph Human Bwaka, a bunch of kleptocrats and kakistocrats. You can jail all the revolutionaries, but you cannot jail the CDC. Manda. The CDC is an idea conceived in the minds and hearts of the sons and daughters of the poor peasants and the impoverished masses of our people. At this time, comrades, we had a movement to speak to you, but the official message of here, the man who will communicate the position of the party, is the man who is the chief convener and commissar We ask all of you to increase your height, to stand up. We ask all of you to stand up. As we walk on to this ruction, the man who gave the marching order to decisively deal with Joseph Human Bwaka and bands of criminals.
Yo, Jame Janga. Yo, Jame Janga. Yo, Jame Janga. Yo, Jame Janga. Alila Masefate. Dole, Jame Janga. Yo, Jame Janga. Yo, Jame Janga. Alila Masefate. Dole, Jame Janga.
Manda! Viva, viva, Wada Susuru, viva!
Viva!
Viva, 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 the chairman of the party against the 10 minute in prison, viva!
Viva!
Viva, 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 the message was going to be dangerous, viva!
Viva!
Amanda! Away too!
Amanda!
Reaction the witness! Aluta!
Amanda! 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 I want to say thank you for assembling here today based on the call of the National Executive Committee of the Mighty Congress for Democratic Change.
So!
Yesterday, we witnessed a very sad situation in our country when the government invited and then head on to Speaker J. Funati Kofa, Abu Bana Kamara, Dixon Wulawisibo, and Jacob Debbie, 4 representatives who are members of the mighty CDC. This government conspiracy, even after the correct the speaker to resign, after almost 8 months of illegally holding on to the position of the speakership, after we saw the broad day vandalization of the speaker's office, after we witnessed the brutalization of sitting lawmakers at the National Legislature, unprecedented in Liberian history, yesterday was the climax where we saw the illegal incarceration of Speaker Kofa and the 3 other CDC lawmakers. The Unity Party government of President Bwaka is inviting chaos into the country. And our silence over the last 1.5 years is not a sign of weakness of the opposition community or the CDC for that matter. But the CDC considered the election of 2023 on a margin of 17,000 votes, which was within the margin of error. But that the CDC considered, that President Weah considered, meant the CDC is a party of the rule of law. The CDC is a party of peace. And no amount of propaganda from the government is going to pin this party. As a matter of fact, that negative propaganda against the party has long been erased. Because over the last 1.5 years, Liberia has witnessed that the CDC has exhibited the highest degree of civility, the highest degree of patience. But the government has crossed the dangerous red line. Last evening, the political leader of our party, along with 3 other political leaders in Liberia, President George Manuel Weah, Honorable Zana Benedict Kumin, Musa Hassan Belete, and D. Maswell Sakemeya Sr. issued a statement condemning the arrest and incarceration of Speaker Kofa and the 3 other lawmakers, and they call for their unconditional release. These people, we consider them political prisoners because, as a matter of fact, we all know that they are innocent because the real culprits of the Capitol building fire have been shielded.
And so today, after they were taken to the Monrovia Central Prison, we were making our way there when we were ambushed by the Liberian National Police, and several members of the party were brutalized, and I was brutalized and taken to police custody. And you all saw the video. We were not in any form obstructing traffic. We were not in any form obstructing anything. We were not in any form protesting. We were exercising our right to free movement, which is constitutionally guaranteed. But the police violently manhandled my person. I'm wounded in several places as I speak to you now. But I want to call on seditionists and all members of the opposition community that there is a rallying call. We call on you. We thank you first for coming today. On Monday, we'll be at the Monrovia City Court because our leaders have demanded the unconditional release of Speaker Kowo, Honorable Dixon Wulawisibo, Honorable Abu Bana Kamara, and Honorable Jacob Debbie. And we want to send this message out to the government. You are hereby mandated to release Speaker Kowo and the 3 lawmakers who we consider innocent and who we consider political prisoners under the Unity Party government of President Bouaka. And we want to warn President Bouaka and his government that the peace and stability of the country is not contingent upon the arms the police is carrying or even the army. The peace of the country is guaranteed by the civility of the population. And you are testing the civility of the population. And so we are mandating the people to come out because they have reached the point where the people will have to take their destiny into their own hands. So on Monday, we'll be assembling here today. We want to say thank you for coming today. On Monday, we'll call all members of the opposition to the Sambo as we march to the Monrovia City Court to show solidarity with Speaker Kowo and the 3 lawmakers that have been detained illegally. And we want to call on the government that the safety and protection of Speaker Kowo and all those who are in prison are in your hands. And so we'll see you on Monday. Thank you very much.
Oh, Congress, Nevada. Oh, Congress, Nevada. Congress, Nevada. Oh, Congress, Nevada. Calling for it. And to reach the best
A major opposition.
No peace again.
No peace. The major opposition.
No peace again.
All parties.
No peace in Liberia.